Hello traders and people around the world, it's Theta FOREX here with volume 1 of Thetas Technicals. I hope you're all having a good weekend and a good Sunday evening and ready to kill the markets next week. So just going straight into GBP USD. So cable, what do I expect for this week ahead? So just starting off on the monthly just to see our longer term bias. After making the lows of 1.196, we've had this huge move to the upside, taking out prior structure, prior highs, and forming this new high at 1.301. So on the monthly time frame, I'll just show you my structure point is this high of this monthly bearish candle at 1.3177. So my outlook on the monthly time frame is, at the moment, I do expect, so we have 4 weeks in the month, but I do expect the first 2 weeks on GBP to be bearish weeks and potentially come to test 1.275, which I'll just break into why later on. But long term, I am expecting to the end of this month and December price to come up to 1.317. So now just going on the weekly time frame, we see the structure that price has taken out. So we've had this swing high here, which price rocketed through, and also this last swing high here on the weekly, which price rocketed through, came to retest it, and then came higher. So what is price forming right now? On the monthly, this is, I'll just go on the daily time frame, this is the last high. We don't really have much structure, so price has broken through this structure here. We don't really have much structure on this move to the downside, but I do expect this sharp move to the downside to be filled fully and price to come to 1.317. So if I just break down what I'm expecting now on GBP USD. So let me just go on the 4 hour, show better. So if we see now, after tapping 1.3, price has come to the downside. We tested this low here, came up again and broken through it, taking out liquidity. After having this huge wick to the downside, we did start to push higher. And now what I'm looking for on cable is, you see these highs we've recently printed at around 1.297. A move I do anticipate for the week ahead is price to potentially take out these highs. Even ideally, we take out these highs here at 1.31, I think it is. Yeah, so at 1.301, if we take out these highs, have a sort of manipulation, stopping out traders that are already short from the highs here, then I do expect a move to the downside on GBP and price to come, take out all the lows that we are printing at the moment, potentially down to 1.275, but around this level here is what, if I just go on the hourly, I do want these lows at 1.28 to be taken out, as again that is a psychological level which we would expect manipulation to occur around that level. And also for this move to the upside, what the market needs is a massive accumulation of orders to push this move to the upside, and for that to happen we need liquidity to provide this move to the upside, which on GBP is what I am looking for. So yeah, that's generally GBP. So that's GBP USD. Now I'll cover GBP JPY, another trade setup which I do have for the week ahead. Price action is pretty similar to GU, but there are certain differences. So I just go through recent price. Let me just go back on the monthly. If you ignore these, if I just do this, so if you ignore what's happened, what I had on my chart before, on GJ, where do we want price to come to long term? Well, we do have this last swing high which we have formed on the 1st of May of 2019, which again, there is liquidity lying around that level, and what I expect on GJ is to potentially come around the 144.7 to 146 level. I'll just go on the weekly to refine that better. Yeah, so on the weekly, if I do expect price to come up to this high of, on the monthly, I think, yeah, so on the monthly, the high of 146.5. So again, that could happen. I'm expecting that to happen around mid-December-ish. For November, what I'm looking for, so on this monthly closure, which we will have, I'm expecting price to come from a wick to the downside and then a bullish month, taking out this recent high that price has printed at 141.47, and ideally coming all the way up to 144.2 ish, around the 144 psychological level. So that's our long-term bias on GJ. Pretty similar to GU, the price level, this should confluence quite nicely and move the same. But again, sometimes the Japanese yen does manipulate GJ, and there is certain differences. So on the daily time frame, recent price action, the levels I have now are just the recent highs and lows which GBP is printing. So what I expect now, again, what I want for this big move to the upside to happen is first a bearish move to take out many people already long in the market already. So these lows that I have laid out on GBP JPY, what do I expect right now? So a move that I am looking to play out is a short from potentially taken out. Before we move to the downside, what I want to see on GBP JPY is taken out of this high at 140.68, manipulation of wick to the upside, and then a massive push, taking out lows to the downside, on GBP JPY. So level of interest is around the 137.1 level, as that was the last level we had before this huge bullish candle and move to the upside. So there is significance lying around this level. We also do have these wicks here as another area of support, you can say, which I do expect GBP JPY to come to. But yeah, pretty much something that I do see to play out is we potentially take out these recent highs and then these highs here, and then move to the downside. But overall, in general, at the moment, I am short term, I am bearish on GBP, and I do expect it to come to test these lows, especially here at 138.6, and then if price does come to these levels, then I'll be looking for long-term longs to hold up to, I'll just zoom out, I'll be looking for longs to hold up to 144-ish. So yeah, that's GBP pretty much broken down. If I go through gold now, so this is the last pair I'm going to cover for this video. Gold, what am I expecting on gold? So if we again start off with the monthly, we've had this huge move to the upside. We've now had an exhaustion, you could say, and then we are expecting to push further up to the upside. Not much on the monthly as in terms of what I can read, but on the weekly, if we look at price action on the weekly, we have this larger consolidation with all these weekly candles gearing up for the bigger move to happen, upside or downside. If we look at, just go now on the daily, so what's price done? If I quickly draw out this low here, so we do have this low, which after tapping the highs nearly at 1560, we came to 1557. After coming to those highs there, we had the first push to the downside, formed this structure here. Then what did price do? people that have entered long here, prices come up, people thinking that this move is ready to happen, and it's stopped people out, gain liquidity. And this big bearish move here, which came, how many pips below this low did that come? Around 240 pips below the recent low. The market gained a lot of liquidity from retail traders already long, as their stops would have got hit. And from this significance of this move, I do expect price now to move to the upside, because if we look on the 4 hour, what these levels that I have drawn out, so after making this low, we see all these recent lows which price has respected, making higher lows. As we see here, we've formed the first low, we found a higher low 1, higher low 2, higher low 3, higher low 4, where price is continuously pushing to the upside, and there's more, and buyers are pushing this higher, which with the market structures, which is showing like a early sign of bullishness on gold. And what I do expect for this week ahead is Monday, Tuesday, we do have a slight move to the downside, potentially coming down to around 1500, the big psychological level, taking out this recent low at 1503. And then ideally for the rest of the week, I do want these highs to be taken out. So these highs which gold is printing, I do want price to come wick or close all the way above these highs here, take out people that are entering short right now, and continue up to, so my bias on gold is, if we do break this high at 1535, we should come all the way and take out the last swing high on gold. This is like the last level of significance for gold to test, because if we see on the 4 hourly, this is our last swing high in price action, where we're currently respecting it. But I do expect price to come around, if I look on the 4 hour, to come in around this level, and then ideally take out this high, gain more liquidity from people that have entered short. Their stop losses will be buy orders into the market, which should push this further to the upside, and then test 1557. But yeah, so long term on gold, what I want to see ideally by the end of this year is 1580 to be tapped, which if we look on the monthly, we see how this is the last area, this is the last swing high, I mean, all the way up at 1620-ish, no, 1614 is the last swing high which gold has to target. But around this zone here is what I am looking for on gold. And again, it's another, if we look at this swing low here, which price breached by how many pips was that? So around 25 pips. If I drag this up above this high here, I do expect like a similar move to play out. So yeah, I do expect like a 200 pip move above the swing high to play out, and then potentially come for a bit down on gold, and then potentially come down, test 1560, and then continue to the upside. But yeah, I will revisit it. I will revisit gold once if this does play out, and if my analysis or bias does change and I turn bearish, I will update the free telegram. So yeah, so those are my 3 pairs that I've covered on for this week ahead and the month as well. Anyone who's not in the telegram currently, do join. We'll put the link in the description for our free telegram and also the paid mentorship, which will begin for this month ahead, where I will reveal the actual reasoning and concepts behind these trades which I am looking at, and talk about things that are not talked about in the trading community, etc., which is a monthly payment of £30. And there'll be videos provided, and I'll go in depth with the concepts and how to apply them for yourself, and also the reasoning behind the trade setups, which I am providing in the free Telegram. So yeah, that's it for me for this week ahead. All the links will be in the description, and I'll hand it over to Ollie, and he will cover, I think it's Euro USD, Euro JPY, and USD CAD for the week ahead.
Hello guys, it's Oliver here. I hope you're all having a great weekend. I'm going to go over some pairs with you and just give you my overall weekly bias. Specifically, we're going to go over Euro USD, USD CAD, and Euro JPY. Later on in the week, probably past Monday and Tuesday, we'll be releasing some more in-depth updates on these pairs for each pair specifically once price is played out. But so if we start on the weekly with Euro USD, so not much to see, but as you can see, the price is in a general downtrend, and we can see this shift on 30th September, so the new quarter, something we go into more in our mentorship quarter shifts. However, let's go down to the daily. I see the pair in a bit more depth. So we have these key levels drawn out here, these lows, this area, this low. More importantly, these two lows here, which was broken recently when price posted two new highs. So a lot of retail traders, what would they be doing? They'd be going short around this area. So they'd be looking for shorts here. And if you're looking for shorts here, where do you put your stop losses? You'll put it above here. So this is what we want to do. We want price to run out these stops, come to this key area 12500, this high here. And that's then, once that's broken, that's then when we'll be looking for shorts. So just basically we're looking for price to break these two highs, break this key area high here, and then look for shorts to the downside. Also, 12500, that's a psychological level. Again, adding even more confidence to the setup. Now, if we take it down to Euro JPY, so this is quite an interesting pair. If we take it to the weekly, we can see that we're in an uptrend right now after hitting this support zone here. Yeah, not too much on the weekly, to be honest. You can see that we're in the uptrend. Taking it down to the daily, we can see a bit more in depth. We have this high here. We see price made the move up, exhausted, made the move up, and now we're currently consolidating around this area here, this previous high. So you can see that it's not really been doing much recently, just consolidating around this area. If we take it down to 4 hour, we can see this area more in depth. We can see it's basically just jumping between these two zones here. Has posted some new highs a few times. This high here. So yeah, for what I'm personally looking for is, you can see price is expected to carry on and break this 121-100 area here, this blue zone. Once it's broken that zone, I expect it to come down to, I'm looking for shorts. I expect it to come down to around 119.350, around that area here, this blue zone here. There's going to be a lot of retail traders getting in here. So break this zone here. Hopefully take out some stop losses, and then look for the move to the downsides to this key level. From there, once it reaches this key level, if it doesn't see any resistance at all, or support should I say, then I'll be looking for a move down to here, this key area. My reasoning, if we take it down to the daily, we can see this move up, and then price consolidated. Now if we move it back up, we can see that this fits nicely into here. This is a long short, although unlikely. If we don't see any support at this key level here and price continues down, this is then where I'd be looking for a long. However, I don't really see it coming down to there. I'd prefer it to come down to the key level here. So yeah, that's what I'd be looking for, these lows here. Then we could look for another short to break through these highs here, which is what, 121,500. Yeah. So that's my general analysis for Euro JPY. So in short, look for price to break this area here, 121,100. Look for the short down to here, key level. If it doesn't see any support, look for longs from the equal lows. However, I think it should, and we can look for longs based from this level here. Okay, so if we take it to USD CAD we have right now, pretty much on the weekly, you can see that it posted these equal highs and it posted these equal lows. Taking it down to the daily, again, not much to see. We can see the equal highs and the equal lows. Before we get to these equal highs, I expect price to come back down and take out these equal lows here. This level around here. I expect it to take out these lows, because when price does come back down here, there's going to be a lot of buy pressure. A lot of retail buyers buying at the market. What does that mean? It means their stops are going to be just beneath this area here. And what we want to do is we want to take out these retail traders before we can expect the move to the upside. Once we do take out them retail traders, I expect the price to rocket up, potentially to these equal highs, where we could take out these equal highs, and that's where my target would be for the pair. Yeah, there's not much on USD CAD really. Just take out these lows, then we can get the liquidity to move the price up to these equal highs, where I also expect these equal highs to be taken out. So yeah, nothing much really. Price will come back down to this level and then shoot up once we've taken the lows. That's me for today. We're going to be, as I said earlier, there's going to be more in-depth videos on each pair towards a week, in a week, or potentially probably after Monday and Tuesday, once price has moved a bit. But yeah, that's me today. There's a lot of stuff that I'm not thinking about, but we're going into more detail on that in the mentorship. Message me or Luke about it, and yeah, something we're looking to roll out very soon. Thank you guys. Hope you all have a good week.